Cozy is the new thing and has been the new thing. And when I say new, it's been like a few years now. Everybody wants cozy everything. Cozy games, cozy drinks, cozy home, a cozy desk setup, cozy you name it. And it's something to think about, like, why is cozy so in? Maybe because there's so much shit going on in the world that all we want to do is disassociate in a nice, comfy, and safe space, but none of us have that space in this crazy, ridiculous, horrible world. So now we just have to create our own space so that we can actually feel comfy and safe and relax in it. Just a guess though. Everyone deserves a comfy space where they can just relax, decompress, they can just really chill in. Maybe you don't have that space yet and you're trying to create one for yourself, or you do have a space and you're trying to figure out ways to spruce it up. In any case, you are in the right place. Shall we get into it? Okay, so before we actually start going out and buying stuff, there is a few questions that you would probably want to ask yourself before you get out there. Before you even start looking. I think it's so easy to get caught up in the glitz and glamour of people's setups that you see on Instagram, on Pinterest. I'm telling you, like, I was so hooked. I was like a moth to a flame, okay? I was like a deer in headlights. Like, every time I saw a nice setup, I'm just like I couldn't take my eyes off of it. And it's good. Like, it's good to look at photos for inspiration. It's good to appreciate people's work and their setup. But if you're not careful, it's easy to just get caught up in it and then spend all this money that you didn't even need to spend to get something that isn't really you. So, few questions before you decide on things, okay? The first question you should ask yourself is, what are you going to use the space for? I realize that not everyone is a gamer. For me, it was an easy question because I do play video games. I like to play games on my PC. I like to play games on my Switch. And while that's not all that I do, I enjoy a lot of different hobbies. That is probably the main thing that I do. But what are you gonna use it for? Are you a PC gamer and you wanted to make a cozy little desk setup for you to relax in after work? You can play video games and whatnot. Do you like to read? Are you wanting to make like a cozy little nook for yourself so you can just bundle up, get cozy, and start reading? Do you like to knit? Do you like to sew? Do you like to felt? There's so many different things that you can make a little cozy space for, and the more specific you are, the more helpful it will be. So I know for a lot of us, we enjoy many different hobbies, not just one. That's why it's important to keep this question in mind. Then we can think of ways that we can access our hobbies and actually do them with ease. If you have a hard time answering this specific question, just ask yourself, what do you like to do in your free time? What brings you joy? What brings you some peace of mind, some calm? What do you end up doing after work to just decompress and breathe a little? And no, I won't accept doom scrolling as a hobby, okay? After you've answered the first question, the next question you need to ask yourself is, where can you set up? Of course, if you are trying to fit a desk somewhere, you need to know where you can fit a desk. If you need bookshelves so that you have easy access to your books, you don't have to get up, walk across the room in order to grab them, then you know you need space for bookshelves. You just want to find a space that makes the most sense. If you are into woodworking, of course, you're not going to put a bench inside your living room where there's nice carpet and nice furniture. I know that's a little extreme example, but that's an example. I live with my husband and my brother. We rent a 2-bedroom apartment, and there isn't a lot of space for activities. I'm very grateful that my husband lets me have my little battle station in our bedroom. This really did work out though, because my husband keeps his PS5 in the living room with his TV. So it kind of worked out to where we have our own little space. I have the corner of our bedroom. He has the living room for all of his activities, and then my brother has his own room. So it's nice because we have our own little areas where we can just sit and play games and decompress. And also, even though we're like in the next room, we sit on Discord because we don't have a setup right next to each other, which is fine because we're on Discord. But I want to reiterate, it is not necessary for you to have your own room for your cozy space. Of course, if you have the space, if you have an extra room, dude, go for it. That is a goal of mine in whatever future house we have, if we can afford it in this economy, girl. I don't know, but if we can afford it one day, then yes, I would love to have that. And if you have that, freaking go for it. But it's not necessary. Just carve out a space in your house. You can make do with what you have. Even if your space is just in a tiny little corner of a room, your space is just as good as someone that has a whole room to themselves. So just figure out where you can set up shop and go from there. Another thing that you want to ask yourself, what's your budget? You need to have a budget. You do want to keep your budget in mind because it is very important. You can end up splurging on things that you really don't even need. Maybe you don't even really want it, but because it's so trendy and it's showing up in everybody's setup, you think you need it. Keep a budget in mind, but just remember that you will not buy everything in one go. And that is not a challenge for you to take, okay? Just make sure that you are taking care of yourself first. If you are an adult and you have bills, if you have kids to feed, feed yourself and your kids and pay your bills. And then, you know, whatever you can afford to sink into your space, use it. We're gonna be responsible, okay? In this video, we're being responsible. Okay, so we figured out the what, we figured out the where, we figured out the cost, and now we're gonna figure out the other what. What are the non-negotiables? What are the basics of your setup? So since my main goal was to have a space where I can just set up shop and play video games, of course I needed a desk, I needed my PC tower, monitors, I needed a mouse and a keyboard, and I needed a chair. And then, you know, probably like the power strip, the power cords and stuff, but you know, that's kind of like a given, right? But those are pretty much the basics. Everything else that you see on my desk, behind my desk, I do not need that to play video games. I don't. And I think figuring out your basic needs for your hobbies is so important. Just get the basics so you can jump into the coziness, the cozy hobby doings first. Your non-negotiables will not be the same as mine, especially like, okay, so if your main hobby is reading, you don't even play video games at all, technically you don't really need a desk. You might want a very comfy chair. You might want to have like an ottoman or a C table, end table near you so that you can put your drinks on there, any snacks that you want while you're reading. You would want a bookshelf, maybe like a book cart near you so that it's easy access to your books. You don't have to keep getting out of your chair, grabbing a book, going back to your chair. There's a lot of different things that different hobbies need, and it's whatever you need. Your setup is gonna continue to evolve, but at least when you start from the basics, at least when you start from your non-negotiables, these are things that you can put a little more money into because these are the things that you absolutely need. Once you have your basic needs, you can get to the inspiration part. I am an avid user of Pinterest. I freaking love Pinterest. I love Pinterest. I am in love with Pinterest. I also love Instagram too. Instagram has really good photos of different setups and whatnot, and those are probably the two main ways I look for inspiration for anything that I need, really. And YouTube is also good. This is probably my favorite part, is looking up inspiration photos, but I will say that it can also be the most discouraging. This is why I want to encourage you to think about your basic needs first, figuring out what are the basic necessities for your setup first before you even look up any inspiration photos and whatnot, because it's really easy to get sucked into how a space looks rather than the things that you need in order for you to actually truly decompress and relax. And one thing that was really hard for me to remember was that these photos that I'm seeing is curated to be aesthetic. It's curated to look a certain way in order for them to get views, to get clicks, to get likes. But in reality, sometimes some of these spaces are not the most functional. So it's easy for us to get caught up in how it looks. It's easy for us to get caught up in the aesthetics. And then we start to stress out more in reality, because now we're thinking about how something looks rather than, are we actually enjoying our time in that space? Is it allowing us to actually just chill and be free and freaking release our minds from the shackle of our 9-to-5 job and just enjoy the things that we enjoy? If it starts to become more of a stressor, then you don't even want to spend your time in that space anymore, and the coziness gets thrown out the window. It is true though, how something looks does affect your relaxation time. Yes, I agree with that, definitely. I just think that it shouldn't be the foundation of it. We want the main thing to stay the main thing, which is a place that you can go to unwind and really have time to just get away from the craziness of this world sometimes. While cool lighting can add to the ambiance, it's not the main focus. Cute decor can add to the aesthetics, but again, it's not the main focus. Definitely look at those inspiration photos, but as you're looking through them, as you're searching, try to keep this in mind so that you don't get super discouraged. Okay, I want to show you my desk setup. It's not the greatest right now, but we're doing it. Okay, we're doing it. This is my setup. Dun, 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 dun. I love this space, and it's not always looked like this, but let me show you. First of all, I love having my setup by a window because I like looking out at all the freaking animals. Okay, yeah, the freaking animals. And I'm actually really glad that there's a ledge here because I hide my tissue box there. And I also double the tissue box as like a curtain holder so it can hold it back. But look, bam. Where'd it go? Where is it? You can't even see it. Look at that. And then I also keep my Stanley here. Yeah, just to make more space on the desk. So any drinks and whatnot. Coasters, let me tell you, if you have a desk, if you're, trying to get a nice desk and whatnot, coasters are your friend, okay? Don't forget coasters. I have this art. I can actually link her Instagram, but I love One Piece. So my husband got me these. I forget what he got me these prints for, what, like anniversary or something, but we got Gear 5 Luffy, we got Zoro, we got Sanji dreaming about the all blue, and last but not least, my favorite girl, best girl, Robin. Look at her, look at her little teacup and her little butterfly. Oh, I love her. She's so precious. But I love this so much. I love how it looks next to my desk. And this is my actual desk. I am on Final Fantasy 14 right now, so don't mind that. But but this is my actual desk and I love it. My desk is from IKEA. I don't remember the names. Don't mind my socks, okay? I don't remember the names of these pieces, but when I remember, I'll at least link them below. I needed this desperately because I love to journal, I love to scrapbook, I love to read. So this is all like journaling, like pens, whatever, stickers and whatnot in there. And then on this side, it has a lot of my tech stuff. Storage is another thing that you want to think about. I think that it's necessary so that your space can look nice and cohesive. You can just hide all your junk in there. The infamous duck lamp, okay? Infamous. This is my neighbor Totoro desk mat. I got my Logitech mouse, my cloud wrist rest that I got from Amazon, and then this keyboard my brother got for me for Christmas. There's Law. Look at him. Look at that precious bean. That precious bean. I love them. I got my Switch 2 coming out soon, maybe, hopefully, crossing fingers, and some pins, a music box from Final Fantasy. Is this the 14 one from Final Fantasy 14? I love this one, okay? Okay, I might have turned that many times, but yes, I love this music box. I also have another one from Japan, but it's a Final Fantasy VII one. It's still going. Okay. It's still going. Okay, and one of my absolute favorite things about my setup are these nano lights. Oh my god. My husband got them for me for Christmas. Guys, when I tell you how long I've been wanting like these lights, what did I say? Did I say nano leaf? I hope I said nano leaf. But any of these nano leaf lights, like I've been wanting them for so long, and my husband actually got me them for Christmas. They are pretty expensive, which is why I didn't buy it after how many years. I was actually preparing to buy it. I thought I was in a better spot financially where splurging on this wouldn't really hurt me as much. Like I really wanted it. So shout out to my husband. Oh, these look so cool. And you can even change the settings. It dances according to the sound that it hears. So like, look at that. It's like adjusting to my voice. Ah. Ah. Oh, that's so cool. I love this thing. This thing is so amazing, I swear. I love it, dude. I freaking love it. And then up here I have like the clear, I don't want to touch it because it kind of falls easily, but this is like a clear plastic like book vase. My photo of Aaronville, best bun boy. Look at him. Look at him. Look at him. Look at him. And then I have Law, Deku, and Megumi with his shadow dog. And then a photo of my husband and I on our wedding day. That's our rings. That's our hands. Look at us. But yeah, that is my desk setup. This is my cozy little space that I love and enjoy so much. So when I lived back home in Hawaii, my cozy space was literally a dining room table. It wasn't super big or anything, but it was just a regular table. My table was here. My bed was like right in front of it. That acted like my chair, or sometimes I would just lie down and play games because I had a PS4 at the time. When I would play Final Fantasy 14, I would have my mouse and keyboard set up to my PS4, and it was just on that table. There was a small TV. It wasn't anything fancy. I didn't have like crazy lighting. I didn't have the most aesthetic, most vibey place, but man, I still enjoyed my video games. I still got to connect with people through gaming. Played a lot of games with my brother. We were both playing 14 at the time. Yeah, it was just a nice place to chill. The best thing about every stage though is that I was able to create memories no matter what. And I know that whatever stage you're in, you'll be able to achieve that too. I love my little desk area. It is very cozy. It is where I spend a lot of my time just trying to get away from the world sometimes. But I really hope you enjoyed this video. I was thinking about how I started off trying to make a cozy space for myself, and it was a little difficult for me to navigate. So I hope that these tips helped you. You were able to get some kind of help and tips with this video. There's a lot more coming, so please like and subscribe. If you're planning to stick around the channel, there is a great video that I have of when I set up my bookshelf last year. Stick around and go watch that. Anyways, that is all for today. Thank you for letting me yap about creating your own cozy little space, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.